Hello and welcome to Totally Rovers, a Blackburn Rovers podcast by fans of the Blue and White Horse. On the pod there's myself, Luke, and we've got Liam.
Hello,
So
everybody.
hello to you, Liam. So how are you doing today?
A little bit jet lagged this weekend. Pool Christmas do, works Christmas do. I've had a fun day out in Manchester. It's just been a busy weekend.
Sounds like a pretty hectic one there.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to go to bed. Hence why, as soon as I've finished podding, I'm having an early night.
Fair enough. You still got the
I'm
energy
about
to
as
pod
jet
though,
lagged as
which
the
is a
Rovers
good sign.
fans are with the cases of our pitch.
Well, you can't be as jet lagged as Lewis Miller from when he was on international duty.
This is true. This is true. I think it's just because I'm getting old and I can't hack drinking anymore. How's
Right.
your weekend been
Anyway,
anyway?
is that your weekend summed up basically?
Yeah.
I'm drowned out where Rovers is concerned, to be honest.
I
But
like the pun.
of course,
I like the pun.
yeah, that was intended. That was intended. Anyway, we're going to talk on the pod this week. We're going to discuss the game against Sheffield Wednesday, which inevitably got abandoned. So, and then we're going to do a
Which
quick
game's that?
preview
The
of
game of
the
water
game.
polo that we had.
Yeah, probably another game of water polo that started ended up
Sorry, I
being
couldn't
anyway.
resist. I couldn't resist.
No, I don't blame you. Don't blame you at all. And then we're going to do a preview of the next home game at Oxford if we manage to make sure the pitch is in good order. So
As long as we drain
let's,
the swimming pool.
well, yeah, as long as it gets all drained and end up becoming a log flume and whatnot. It's embarrassing, isn't it? Anyway, let's talk about the Sheffield Wednesday game.
Okie dokie.
How are you before the game started? How are you feeling? Like on how Rovers could probably
I
do against
fancied the result
Wednesday?
against Sheffield Wednesday. I thought perfect opportunity to make sure now that we get a decent home result again. We've had one against Southampton. I thought if we could get one against Sheffield if we're up against Sheffield Wednesday, I've got a feeling we've got a good chance of getting something against these. And um, I thought, you know what? I'm optimistic. The way we're playing, I think we'll get something good out of this. And I was hoping for like a 1 or a 2-0 win. Anyway, what about yourself?
I thought there was a bit of optimism. I think after the Ipswich game, when Valerian Ismail rallied around the players at full time, and all the fans got on board with how they played against Ipswich, I think the players took a lot of encouragement from that and encouraged them to just give it the roll and fire on all cylinders. I thought, right, if we can play like that against Ipswich at home and get the fans on board like they were against Ipswich, this is key to making Ewood Park a fortress for when Rovers play home games. Because sadly, it hasn't been a fortress, has it?
No.
Throughout the season, 1 win, 2 draws, and we need to finally start winning more games and getting points on the board when we're playing at home. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday are in a terrible position at the moment, hit with another points deduction. But I was under no illusion that this would be an easy game because with the way things are with Wednesday, and I think Wednesday pretty much know that their fate is sealed on where this season is going to end. They're going to end in the bottom three anyway, with the points deduction and the points that they got all below tally with the points anyway. They haven't got anything to play for really. They've got a bit
No.
more freedom, and the pressure's off. So the onus is more on us to actually get something from the game and to, you know, get the points on the board to get us the aim of surviving more comfortably in the league, rather than us looking over our shoulders, fighting off relegation and fighting to survive in the league.
Yeah. Well, going into the game, if we'd have won, we were looking at being only 6 points off the playoff spots. I was looking at that and I was like, I'm not looking at playoffs, but it looks more comfortable than it did at the start of the season when we were down that bottom end. It was starting to look better for us, and the players are starting to play better now, picking up the odd result here and there. It was looking a better picture, you know what I mean? And I said at the start of the season when we were struggling with all the players and struggling with bedding and gelling, I said I'd take a mid-table finish this season as long as we can avoid a relegation scrap. And
Uh,
had we got the result today, yesterday, I'd have been looking at that table thinking, you know what, we're nice and comfortably away from the bottom three, and we're not far away from where we were last season with a whole new squad.
Yeah, yeah. I think finishing the league, as long as we survive comfortably or at least avoid relegation, and just take it from there. Um,
Mm.
Obviously, with the list of players that we've got injured right now, I don't think there could have been a better time to play Sheffield Wednesday because our injury list has grown on it. Ryan Hedges was out of action after picking up a knock against Ipswich. So Ribeiro was thankfully put as the wing back position. I was a bit concerned that Deandenive would have been put there because even though he's a young raw player, I don't think he's quite the player to be a wing back for us because defensively he doesn't track back, and I don't think he
Yeah,
has that strength and muscle to defend against opposition
no, I would
when they're
agree.
on the counter attack. So I was actually pleased to see that Ishmael started Ribeiro on that part. Not only is he a more experienced player, I think he's a bit more streetwise when it comes to playing in the championship, and he's better with the dark arts than Dion Deneve as well. And I think he's actually pretty clever when it comes to doing the dark arts and dealing with dark arts as well. So I was actually more convinced that Ribeiro was put there in Hedges' absence,
Yeah,
against Wednesday. And obviously, as the game started, it was very cagey. It was very scrappy. There really wasn't much between Rovers and Wednesday at that point. But Wednesday tried to have attempts, but there was like virtually no end products. But as the game went on, Rovers tried to get one or two chances. Taylor Garner hit an attempt on goal with a long distance shot that narrowly went wide. And there was one opportunity in the game when Yuki Hashi was outside the box. Instead of going for a long range shot, he decided to take a pass. And I was like, oh, come on, you could have had a goal, like another a shot on goal there. But I think that touched on what you said with the confidence thing. I
yeah,
think as you look back through his time at Rovers, at least anyway, he's more comfortable with close range shots than long distance shots
yeah,
from what I've seen of Hashi. But I mean, that build up play from Ryan Alabiosu, then to Morishita to do that low pass for Ohashi to tuck it right in, that was a really neat finish to get Rovers
yeah.
ahead just
Very nice
after the
finish.
half-hour mark.
Nice
But
build-up play
after
as
that,
well.
yeah, it was. And after that, just got pretty scrappy throughout. I mean, Rovers on Wednesday were pretty much locking horns to the point that dark arts were played between both sides, and a few cards were dished out by the referee for players on both sides as well. Before the break. And then just before we got the break, you know, we talk about injured players, don't we? Another player added to our list, and another experienced player. And that's Adam Forshaw. Came off after pulling his
Yep.
hamstring. I was like, oh God, here we go again. Another injured player, another experienced player out on the sidelines, which is a bit unfortunate because Adam Forshaw has been a bright spark for Rovers over the past couple of games, particularly in Tronstad's absence as well. It was quite unfortunate as well that he pulled his hamstring and he's now out of action. And Baraji came on just literally before half time, and obviously we were 1 up at the break. Um, how did you take with Rovers like after being 1-0 up at the break? Did you think like we could go and get onto a win here against Sheffield Wednesday?
Personally, I thought coming out in the second half, I thought we should be going to get at least one more, kill the game off. Because I didn't see much in terms of end product from Wednesday. I didn't think they looked that threatening on the attack. And the amount of times we've switched off in the last couple of minutes in games, I thought we need to go out and just get the game by the horns, swift of the neck, get that extra goal, just to give us that comfortable margin. And then if they decide to try and just control the ball and maintain the flow of the game, fair enough. But at least we've got a 2 goal cushion to worry about then. That was my thought on it.
Yeah, Wednesday also like tried to make sure that Rovers didn't extend the lead as well as we were like 1 goal up. Like
Yeah.
after that first goal and into the break as well, they tried to derail us and tried to make it difficult for us to score more goals. But as the second half started, we were a little bit slow. A bit like the first half in a
The
way.
weather wasn't
But,
helping.
no, but Wednesday sees an opportunity for an attempt on goal, which Pers did save, and then after that we switched back on and go right. Let's try and go for another goal, which we did try to do, and in the game, of course, throughout. Um, you know, we pressed on later on in the game. We had some free kick, we had some corners as well. Oashi tried another shot on goal that was settled by Good Johnson, and then he had another shot saved on target, and just and then that was it really. There wasn't much else on. I mean, there was a change made by Ishmael as a half-time switch. George Pratt was taken off because he got booked in the first half,
Yeah,
and Dion Dini was put on, and he was put on as the wing back, whereas Eurobero played in the left centre back of that back three. As I think Ishmael wants to make sure that we went down to 10 minutes, later on into the game, as
yeah,
given how scrappy it had been in the first half. And then, of course, the inevitable happened, didn't it? Just
yeah.
before the hour
Well,
mark.
just before the hour mark,
Whether
I saw them dishing out armbands um and rubber rings and lilos, and it would become a swimming pool.
oh yeah,
I'm
the
sorry,
pitch
I
got
couldn't
water
resist.
slugged again. No, I
We've got
understand.
to
It's
make
just
laugh of it and light of it and joke
oh,
about it, because otherwise they're just going to get frustrated. It's an
yeah, we just
embarrassing affair at the end of the day. To be caught by it
yeah.
twice in the space of a month or so,
Oh,
it's
oh,
embarrassing.
it's terrible. It's embarrassing. I mean, once the whistle was blown and the game was stopped, I was like, "Oh God, I've got a niggling thought in my
I
mind here." I
heard
was like,
a reason why. It's not so much the drainage system into the river. It's because we've got our underfloor pitch heating now. Yeah, to like melt the frost and all that lot. There's very limited amount of actual thing on top of the. So it's like small amount. So the water doesn't have anywhere to drain. To
"I
drain
don't know
through,
what it is,
just
but
sits on the top sits on the top.
yeah, it just floats on top, didn't it? It floated on
Yeah,
top. It didn't look like a waterlogged pitch, but just before the whistle was blown, I noticed the ball wasn't rolling free. It wasn't freely like it should do, and then obviously it
yeah.
wasn't bouncing like it should do. Like once the ball's been in the air, as well. Uh, I just, when it was announced that the game was suspended, I thought, oh god, the rollers are out with the sponges to try and take away, absorb the water out of the pitch and
Yeah.
everything like that. I'm thinking, let's hope this isn't a case of history repeating itself after the Ipswich game being called off. But inevitably it was. And I was flabbergasted. I was flabbergasted to the point of going, how has this happened again? Because the weather against Wednesday wasn't as bad
No.
as the game against Ipswich.
So the
It
pitch
wasn't a
should have been a
torrential
bit better.
rainfall at
Should have
all.
been prepared for better, in my opinion. But at the same time, the pitch didn't look as bad as it did against Ipswich, and they almost played the full game against Ipswich with that weather. I don't understand why the ref
Yeah.
couldn't have just given it a bit more time and just seen how it went on. Unless Wednesday have gone and done what Ipswich did, complain about the weather, this, that, the other. So to the fourth official or whatever, and this, that, the other. Maybe that was
I
it.
don't think
Maybe that's the case. Maybe every team we play now, if we're ahead of them at home, the away team is going to complain about the weather at the pitch having water on it, and so therefore it's going to be adjudged. And maybe that's just how it's going to be for teams against Rovers, because the one team got away with it. Now the others are going to try it. Maybe that's what I don't
I
know.
well, I don't think Henrik Pedersen bitched and moaned like Kieran McKenna did when
Fair enough.
we played Ipswich on the first time round. I think Pedersen was like a bit more level-headed about the situation. He'd go, right,
Yeah.
this is how it is. Leave it for the refs and officials to sort out, because he didn't go. I don't think he went to touchline and going, call this game off. It's dangerous for the players and all that lot. It wasn't. There wasn't any animated, body language
Well,
going, do
McKenna
this, do
certainly
that, and
did,
all
didn't he?
that lot from McKenna. McKenna made quite a
Song
um,
and dance about it to get
kicked
the
up a
game
bit, yeah,
to
kicked up a big,
called off,
yeah,
because he knew there were no way back of winning that game, and they were
yeah.
lucky to come away with a draw the second time. Anyway, we're getting off topic now, but yeah,
But yeah, I was just, it's embarrassing, isn't it? Though, to be
It is
honest, the fact
embarrassing,
that it's come to this again. The weather
which
wasn't
is
as
why
bad
I'm
as it was
throwing
against
out the
Ipswich.
jokes and the laughs and all that lot.
Yeah,
Because
well, that's a defense mechanism, though, isn't it? If
oh
we're
yeah,
going to be
it is.
brutally honest here,
It's a way of laughing about it and dealing with it because it's frustrating.
it is frustrating, and I don't know what. Say Rudy instead goes to the media and talks about it and goes, "So what? What's happened with the pitch? Why is Blackburn Rovers having to abandon 2 games due to wet weather? You know, is there going to be some stupid excuse going, oh, we can't spend money on the pitch because it leads into our transfer budget? Something stupid like that. Or they'll blame the council for the river, whatever. There was some stupid excuse like that as well. And
There will be.
I'm not going to buy into it because it just reeks of BS to me. It is a load of BS, to be honest. And I just feel that this is a symptom of penny pinching that right from the club when it comes to the upkeep and maintenance of the stadium and of the pitch itself. I think it screams of that. I don't think they've learnt lessons from the game being abandoned against Ipswich. That's what it looks like to me because it's happened a second
Well, they
time
need
round.
to
It's
learn
come after
lessons this
so
time
soon.
around. I don't think the league will look kindly on them if it happens a third time.
No, no,
I think they'll
not
be.
at all. And then,
If we get away with the ramifications this time around, fair enough. But I don't think we'll get away with a third one.
no, if it's a points deduction or a hefty fine, that might make him actually decide to go and do it. I think a fine might be a deterrent for him though, and make him actually do it.
Yeah,
But who knows? I don't think points will be a deterrent for the owners and the board to sort out the state of the pitch. They do need to invest on it though. It's plainly clear to see.
oh yeah,
It is a clear symptom of penny pinching. And, you've been to ground, haven't you? I mean, it's looking a bit of a sorry state in a few places. You know, the paint is fading on the banners and stuff like that. The stands needs a lick of paint. It's looking a bit scabby in a few places. It's like
but it
there's
is still a nice
been.
stadium compared to a lot of stadiums out there.
It is, to be
Just
fair,
a
it
little bit of
is.
work on the pitch, maybe.
Well, there needs work on the stadium itself. If you look at the architecture around it as well, it's
Mm,
looking a bit neglected. It's a symptom of neglect as well. It has been neglected, I think, as well, all the time, and it's negligence that's got us to this as well. I think with the pitch, not being able to deal with the rain and not having inadequate drainage. It's ridiculous. It's beyond a joke, really, and I can't believe that we're having this conversation again about a game being abandoned at Ewood Park due to wet weather. And on this occasion, the weather wasn't as extreme as it was against Ipswich, which makes it all the more embarrassing.
yeah,
And what's also more annoying on the fans as well, not just the Rovers fans that have had to deal with the inconvenience twice and having to spend the money
the away fans have had to travel
on both
twice.
games, but like you got the Sheffield Wednesday fans who've had to travel, the Ipswich fans who've had to travel twice. Sheffield Wednesday fans are going to have to travel again because the game is going to be replayed. And because it ended in just over an hour mark. And Yuko Ash's goal is not going to count now.
Nope.
So
I wonder if the bookings will count.
I think they will because Jacob Greaves' red card stood when
I know, which
Ipswich's
is
game got
why I find it
abandoned.
baffling. How can you have yellow cards for instance in a game if the game's null and void? It just doesn't make
Ah,
sense to me.
well, that's the rules the AFL have made, haven't they?
I know.
That's how it
The
is.
cards count, but goals don't. You know what I mean? It's weird.
It is weird. It doesn't make sense. Um, I, the club should reimburse the fans who've travelled to the games as well, Rovers fans as well. But they won't. I don't think they'll do that. The owners are too happy to take the money and not reinvest back into it. So I'm just flabbergasted. I'm also embarrassed. I was also angry that this has happened again. This is allowed to happen again. And it just smacks of penny pinching, to be honest.
But what I will say for all you fans out there, if you're looking for an activity to do over the winter period, we've got a new aquarium opening at Ewood Park. Sorry,
Anyway,
sorry. I can't help it.
You just couldn't help yourself, could you? You just couldn't help yourself.
No.
But what's your take on the situation though?
I'm fed up. I'm fed up. We should be having to have games called off because not only that, but we were winning. It affects the players. They come away dejected. We worked hard. We were 1-0 up. We were going on for a win. Game abandoned. Same situation with Ipswich. Blackburn Rovers said it himself. It really affected the players when that game got called off. They had the win in the bag. It got called off, and it left the players dejected.
I think after what's happened in the Ipswich game, I think they're going to be more mentally prepared that there's going to be replay as well.
Yeah.
Given the situation, because we were left, there was a bit of everything was up in the air, weren't it, about the Ipswich game after that got cancelled.
Oh yeah.
I think now it's happened. After what's happened from that, we know what's going to happen next. It's going to be replay. It's going to be rescheduled.
Yeah.
I mean, the club released a statement about the game being abandoned. What was it they said? Let me just have a look at it. They said the EFL. What's going to happen now after the game's been abandoned? The club stated the EFL board will now consider what actions is to be taken as a result of the abandonment. In line with EFL regulations, any league match that falls short of 90 minutes duration may be ordered to count as a completed fixture, may be replayed in full, or may be replayed in part, on whatever terms and conditions the EFL board determine. Rovers wish to thank supporters for their fantastic back and hard work today at Ewood Park today, and the club will provide an update on the EFL board's decision in due course. So that sounds like everything's up in the air from what they're saying.
Yeah.
So based on what's happened at Ipswich, I think it's just going to be a full replay. The
I
match
think
is
so.
going to be rescheduled at Ewood Park. That's what it's going to be. So, what's your thoughts and opinions on the game being abandoned? What do you think of how Rovers played against Sheffield Wednesday prior to it being abandoned? Let us know down below in the comment section.
And one last
We'll be
thing,
happy to
anybody,
hear your views on it.
let me know if any of you are going swimming down at Ewood this weekend.
A bit of wild swimming at Ewood Park. Anyway,
Jokes aside, hopefully things start to turn out for the better now. They get the pitch sorted, and we can start getting games played rather than having games postponed.
I ain't pinning my hopes with the owners and the way things are going at the moment with the club. I'm not confident at all.
No.
I think it'd be interesting to see what questions Rudy and Pasha, sorry, and the board are going to get at the fans forum meeting. That's preferably going to be one of the first questions asked.
Oh yeah.
About it.
What are you going to do about the pitch?
Yeah, what are you going to do about the pitch? What are you going to invest money into upkeep of the ground?
And is it going to affect our transfer budget?
Yeah, well, that as well. Could be one of them questions as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's an answer of that sort anyway. So that's that sorted. We're going to have a quick preview of the game against Oxford United, which we should play on Tuesday, should everything go to plan. And if there's no...
provided they pull the plug out the swimming pool.
Well, yeah, providing the plug's pulled out. Couldn't get my words out then. So, Oxford, of course, they're 21st in the league. They recently lost 2-0 away from home against Swansea. So, they're not on the best of form at the moment.
No, they're not.
Oxford United. In the last 6 games, they've lost 3, drawn 2, and won 1. That's home and away forms. But their away form is not great either. They've lost 4, drawn 1, and won 1. The last games they've picked up any points on the road was against Sheffield Wednesday and a draw at Norwich. So
I fancy our chances.
Interesting one. It won't be an easy game.
I'm not saying it's going to be a walkover, not at all, but I fancy our chances. We play like we have been doing against teams like Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton. I fancy us getting a result.
Yeah. I mean, what could help to our advantage is that due to the game being abandoned, we've got a bit more respite. I mean, we haven't been travelling much, have we, in the past couple of games? I mean, we had it Wrexham away, which is...
That's not too far away, though.
Isn't it?
only
Then
North
we've got the
Wales.
game at home. Then we've obviously got the game at home to Ipswich, which we're at home, no travelling. And obviously Wednesday at home, no travelling. But Oxford have been travelling to South Wales and then they're travelling to here. So there's a bit of travel. There's a bit of travelling there for them on their part as well. And obviously they've played a full game, so
And their form's
they've
not good.
not had as much. The form's not been great either. So it's going to be a difficult game. I think because Oxford are going to fight for their lives in
Yeah.
wanting to stay up in the league as well. So that'll be really important. So I just think Rovers will do against Oxford. I mean, it'd be really interesting to see how they bounce back from the game being abandoned, from another setback where the victory being snatched from Mother Nature and from inadequate drainage from our penny pinching owners.
I think we can get a few goals against Oxford. I really do, and I think we can come away with a clean sheet. If I'm to go with a prediction, I would probably say 2-0.
So I think they'll be a difficult team to break down. But obviously, our injury list is a concern. We've got a growing injury list at the moment.
We have,
You
but we
know,
still got some decent players available to play.
well, Todd Cantwell's back, which is a big
Yep.
bonus, and I think he could obviously be back refreshed as well, and hopefully be the man to help dictate play and get us through there. And obviously, you got good Johnson and Ohashi available; they could help as well, and Murray.
Morris Sheeter.
They seem to be clicking quite
Alabiossu
well
running
together
down that
so
right
far
hand
for
side,
Rovers.
been revelation. Him swinging them balls into box. I fancy, I fancy a couple of goals against these. Not
Yeah,
trying to take anything away from Oxford because I'm not saying they're not
I think
not capable of getting a result, but on the form that they're on and the fact we're playing quite well at the moment, I think we need to capitalise, and I think it's a good opportunity to do so now. So I'm fancying us to get the 2-0 win, but that's just me. I'm just being optimistic. You know me, I'm always the optimist. And 90% of the time, the optimist.
yeah, yeah, you are the optimist. I don't think it'll be an
What
easy
score
game.
would
I
you
think
say
it'll be
you predict then? Because you're being a bit more
2-1.
pessimistic. What score would you say?
I'd probably say a draw, maybe a typical Rovers, wouldn't it? Dropping points at home to a relegation threatened side because our own form against teams around us have been poor as well. That's something to consider.
Yeah,
We dropped points against. We lost at home to Norwich. We lost at home to Sheffield United. I nearly said Wednesday. Then. And who else we lost? We lost against Swansea. They're down there now, so that's another team that we've lost against. Um, it's going to be a tough one. Another concern I have is the late goals because that's been a recurring theme for Rovers like throughout the season. And I'm not
yeah,
just talking about the Wrexham game and against Birmingham. Birmingham, we did concede late goals. Wrexham and Ipswich, sorry. But Birmingham was another one where we conceded a late goal. 2 late goals, sorry. So we
yeah.
drop points from late goals. That's another concern I have as well. We need to keep our concentration levels up, play with that energy, play with that intensity and a bit of purpose, and be dogged in defence when we need to be. We should be all right. But I think Campwell and Bradshaw and Morishita should be something to get behind on in that midfield, really, I think, throughout the game. But the problem is going to be rotation in it, due to our
Yeah.
injury list at the moment. Yeah, it's going to be a close one. I think 2-1, I think,
Two
could be
one.
a possible. If not, it'd be a draw. At the very least, a draw against Oxford. I think we'd probably get a draw. I'm being pessimistic here. 1-1, I think. So, what's your thoughts and predictions of Rovers against Oxford? How do you think we'll do against Oxford? What's your predictions? Let us know down below in the comment section. And I think that's wrapped everything up for Totally Rovers, hasn't it? Because
Yeah.
not talked about as much football as the lights have done. We're talking about games being abandoned, penny pinching from the owners, and just a silly state of affairs, really, in the grand scheme of things. It's just beyond a joke.
Maybe we should start looking at taking out some court proceedings against Mother Nature. She's got it in for us.
Yeah, yeah, and reiterating about the game being abandoned and the weather. What makes it all the more embarrassing, I forgot to mention, was that Preston North End were playing at the same time, and so were Accrington Stanley, and their pitches weren't waterlogged. So, what's our excuse?
Yeah.
There isn't any excuse. So anyway, that's everything wrapped up on Total Rovers. Let us know what you think with the comments down below. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. So take care, everyone.
Cheerio, everybody.